Hi, everyone, and thank you for taking the time to be here today. I am excited to share with you the three biggest obstacles that are holding you back, and more importantly, how to overcome them. I would like to assure you that the goal of this class is not to sell you something. There is absolutely nothing for sale. But if you stay until the end, there is a special bonus that I am going to give you absolutely free. So, to start things off, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Dianna Houx. I have three beautiful boys and a loving husband. I am a certified life coach who specializes in helping people build lives they actually want to live. My journey to becoming a life coach started many years ago. For most of my adult life, I found myself merely existing. I drifted along with the sole objective of surviving each day only to face the next. I was in a bad relationship, had a job I hated, and consistently found myself wishing my life away. You know, like waking up Monday morning and wishing it was Friday, or maybe wishing it was next month, or even next year. There was always this feeling of being in survival mode, and that things would get better sometime later. What I finally realized was that sometime later never comes. You will never have the life you want to have if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, hoping that things will magically get better if you just wait long enough. What it takes is action, but so many people choose not to take that action. The goal of this class is to educate you on the three biggest reasons why you may be choosing not to take action and how you can overcome them. So let's get started. The three biggest obstacles we are going to discuss are time management, self-limiting beliefs, and fear. Obstacle number one is time management. We all live very busy, hectic lives. At least it feels like we do, right? Between work, friends, family, and household chores, it seems like there's never enough time. We don't have time to exercise, time to start that new business or side hustle, time for hobbies, time to apply for new jobs, time to take classes towards a degree or learn new skills, or anything else you can think of. But is this really true, or is it just an excuse we tell ourselves? I would be willing to bet that for the vast majority of people, it is just an excuse. And I'm going to prove it to you. I want you to download a time tracking app on either your phone, tablet, or computer, whichever one you use the most. This slide shows some examples of time tracking software, but a simple Google search will reveal these as well as other options. After downloading the software, I want you to diligently track your time for the next couple of days, ideally a week. Make sure that these days represent your typical day, as in, do not include holidays, vacations, and sick days. Make sure you log everything that you do. This includes your time on social media, browsing the internet, reading news articles, shopping, watching TV, or driving in your car. After you've done this for at least a couple of days, I want you to see where your time is really going. How much time is spent on social media each day, watching TV, or other less productive activities? Now, I want you to ask yourself, do you really not have time? Is it possible that instead of watching TV, you could be working on your new business or passion project? Or, instead of being on social media, you could take some classes, learn a new skill, or apply for a new job? What you are most likely to find is that the biggest solution to the problem of time is simply admitting you are spending what time you have on things that aren't going to get you where you want to be. This might seem like a tough thing to hear, but it's the reality for most people. Overcoming the time management obstacle can be very hard for some. If you need assistance, I'd be happy to visit with you individually to see how I can help. Time management is a real problem, but for most it is just the surface layer of a much deeper problem. It is the first obstacle that needs to be eliminated because it is a convenient excuse that can be used over and over again without much thought. Once you recognize that lack of time is not the real issue and eliminate it as an excuse, you can move on to addressing the real obstacles holding you back. For the sake of this class, we are actually going to spend the least amount of time talking about time. There is a lot of extremely helpful material to cover on the other two biggest obstacles, and we need to devote the rest of our time to them. Obstacle number 2, self-limiting beliefs. These include, but are not limited to, beliefs that you are not good enough, you're not smart enough, or that you're defective, that happiness and success are for others, or you just aren't one of the lucky ones. Maybe even that since you have failed before, you are doomed to fail again. Do any of these sound familiar? These beliefs are not only false, they are self-limiting. We call them self-limiting because they literally limit the possibility for growth and change. These beliefs are also crutches because they remove the personal responsibility you have for your own life. Let me elaborate. If you believe that you can't do something because you're not good enough or smart enough, then you are effectively making the decision to not even try. What makes this a crutch is that it's used as an excuse to justify your decision by saying, "It's not my fault I wasn't born smart enough," or "I'm defective. I can't help that I'm not good enough," or that I'm unlucky. This causes you to remain stuck in your current situation, as if you are handicapped. You remain stagnant and locked in a box that you can't escape because you believe that you were born this way and there's nothing you can do to change it. Well, I have good news. You're wrong. I understand that no one likes to be told they're wrong, but in this case, being wrong is a good thing. You weren't born this way. You weren't born believing that you're not good enough or smart enough. You weren't born believing that you're defective or unlucky. These thoughts came from somewhere, likely your parents, teachers, friends, bullies, classmates, or even boyfriends or girlfriends. And over the years, you adopted them as your own, as your truth. However, they are thoughts you can overcome. Here's the real truth. We are all individual, unique people with our own unique set of skills and talents. You are here on this planet for a reason. You have a purpose, and it simply isn't possible that you aren't good enough or smart enough or that you're defective and unable to fulfill that purpose. What is possible, and more than likely, is that you have allowed these false beliefs to keep you from your purpose, and that is why you are searching for answers and here with me today. So how do you overcome these self-limiting beliefs? There are 2 steps. First, dealing with your inner critical voice, and second, identifying what's missing. Let's talk about them in detail. Step 1. Learn to recognize your inner critical voice when it's telling you these false beliefs. When you hear it, stop and listen actively to what it's saying. Don't just half listen as you go about your day. Half listening is exactly what people do by default, and it doesn't work. When you half listen, you're giving the voice power to continue speaking without any resistance from you. Instead, here is an action plan for dealing with the critical voice. Fully hear and recognize what the voice is saying. Recognize the lie that's being said. Rebuke the voice directly by calling it out as a liar. And then recite the truth to the voice. You can do this internally and silently, but you may find the effect more powerful if you actually speak it out loud. Don't be afraid to try. When you begin recognizing the lies and actively rebuking the voice as a habit, your perception will change and this voice will no longer sound like it's coming from you. You will start to recognize it as a natural enemy. Eventually, you will be able to swiftly ignore it and move about your business without interruption. Step 2. Identify what it is that is missing from your life. What is it that you want to change? Some of you may already know, but if you don't, that's okay. Chances are it's floating around in your subconscious, and if you really start to think about it, it will reveal itself to you. Once you know, ask yourself, what is keeping you from that change? Be as honest as possible. If it's a self-limiting belief, you need to address it. For example, if your belief is that you just aren't smart enough, is that really the truth? What makes you not smart enough? Are you lacking education, skills, or experience? Because all of those can be acquired. If your belief is that you aren't good enough, is that really true? What makes a person good enough? Again, education, skills, and experience can be acquired. For some people, accomplishing their dreams may require enlisting the help of others who have other skills. That doesn't mean you're not good enough. It just means you need help. We all need help from time to time. Asking for it isn't a sign of weakness, nor is it a sign that your dreams are foolish or impossible to achieve. In fact, most people find that they lack the time and/or resources to accomplish their goals without at least some help. Don't allow this to convince you that you can't fulfill your dreams. Instead, use it as an opportunity to connect with others. The final key to overcoming self-limiting beliefs is being honest with yourself, changing your perspective on the voice, and wanting to change badly enough that you are willing to toss those crutches to the curb and start testing the limits of your true potential. Obstacle number 3 is fear. The biggest obstacle people often struggle to overcome is fear. Typical fears that hold us back are fear of failure, fear of what others will think of us, fear of looking foolish, fear of rejection, and even fear of success. There is comfort in the life we know, even if we aren't happy with it. In order to change, we must take risks. We risk failure. We risk other people being negative towards us. We risk hearing the word no. But if you do nothing, if you risk nothing, then you gain nothing. Nothing but a life of regrets, what ifs, and could haves. I would like to share with you a quick story. 1 month after I turned 30, I started having symptoms of ovarian cancer. For those of you who don't know, ovarian cancer is called the silent killer because by the time you start having symptoms, it is usually too late. By that I mean the cancer has spread and the survival rate is extremely low. Not only did I have symptoms, the doctor found a large mass on my right ovary. I had to wait 6 weeks for more tests, which means I had 6 weeks to worry and 6 weeks to really think about my life. As I would sit there and think about the things I had done or didn't do, the dreams I had let die, the plans I had made but never followed through on, I realized I might die and I never actually really lived. I had spent my life existing. I allowed life to just happen to me. All of those fears and doubts that had held me back for so long seemed trivial. I also realized that no one is going to care but me. Sure, my friends and family would be sad and they would mourn me, but they would be sad that I wasn't there. I am the only one who knows my what ifs. I am the only one who knows what could have been if I had just had the courage to try. I'm not telling you this to make you sad or to scare you. I'm telling you this because I want you to understand. You are in control of your life. You get to decide the kind of life you want to live, and when the end comes, you are the only one who is going to care if you lived it or not. When you fully grasp this fact, many of your current fears will be greatly diminished. I was fortunate. The mass turned out to be non-cancerous. But it was a huge wake-up call for me. I could either decide to keep existing as I was, or I could finally make the changes I wanted to make and live a happy, fulfilling life. I chose to live a happy and fulfilling life, and you can too. So how do you overcome fear? Here are 3 techniques that work. Technique number 1. The first thing you need to do is write down the fears that you have. Then I want you to change just a couple of words. For instance, write down, what happens if I fail? And then change that to, what happens if I succeed? What happens if everyone laughs at me becomes, what happens if everyone loves me? You are changing the negative into a positive. Write the positives on sticky notes and place them around your house where you will see them often, like on the fridge, the bathroom mirror, by the coffee pot, or by the side of your bed. Make sure you look at them every day. This will help you reaffirm the message and loosen the grip the fear has on you. Technique number 2. Next, I want you to write down the changes you want to make, whether it's start a new career, get a new job, ask for a raise, a promotion, start a new business, or whatever it is you'd like to do. Then, make a pros and cons list. When you have done that, take your cons list and then beside each con, write down the very worst case scenario. Then, write down the very best case scenario. Now it's time to compare. Is the worst really as bad as you thought it would be? How likely is it that the worst case will even happen? Most important, is it worth the risk? We already know that if you do nothing, then you will have nothing. What would happen if you tried and you succeeded? Technique number 3. The last thing you need to do is decide if your desire to change is bigger than your fear. You have to want it. You have to be willing to put in the effort and the work. You may not succeed right away, but the only way you can truly fail is to never try. Change can happen. You can build the life you want. You just need to let go of your excuses, your self-limiting beliefs, and your fears. The last thing I would like to leave you with is this. There are a lot of negative people in this world who say a lot of negative, often hateful things, especially on the internet, but it can happen in person as well. When you decide to change your life, you may become a target for these people. Here's the thing. These people are miserable, unhappy people who are hurting and lashing out in their pain. They see you doing the very thing they want to do, but for whatever reason are choosing not to. Instead of letting them bring you down and question yourself, or worse, paralyze you with fear, feel sorry for them instead. If you look at them with compassion, it will take the bite out of their bark, and you will see that you have nothing to fear from them. So, I hope you feel like you have received some good, solid, actionable steps to take towards building your new life. I know that we are all unique individuals with unique individual problems and struggles. There really is no one-size-fits-all solution, but this should hopefully provide you with some guidelines. If you would like some personal advice, I would be happy to schedule a discovery call with you. We can discuss what you are struggling with a little more in depth and come up with some solutions that are suited to your personal situation. I normally charge between $150 to $200 a session, but as a bonus for staying with me till the end, I am giving you the discovery call for free. I understand if you want to continue to go at it alone. I did that too. I spent years trying to figure things out on my own. I eventually did, and you can too. But, in hindsight, I would rather have had someone on my side so I could have succeeded sooner. I would certainly be a lot farther along, even today. This call is not for those who want to continue to go it alone, who are not ready to change their lives, and who do not believe that change is possible. This call is for those who are tired of being alone, who are tired of feeling like you have no one on your side, who are tired of looking to a computer screen for guidance, and who are ready to start living their dream life now. Does this sound like you? If it does, I hope to hear from you soon. This offer is only available for the next 3 days, so schedule your free discovery call today. To schedule your free session, you can go to alifefullofpurpose.com/discovery, email me at dianna@alifefullofpurpose.com, or call me at 816-744-0016. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day.